Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Brother Sean Brumfield, and we're all back here. Brother Ryan Brown's here with us.
Hey, everybody.
And Brother Jonathan Mitchell.
How's it going?
Y'all ought to see him when we play our intro music. Brother Jonathan is just dancing 100%. Well, everything that he has into the
I wouldn't
the
say
song.
that.
He's definitely pale.
It's not even been a minute and we're already roasting me. What in the world? It's not even been a minute.
I was just saying how much you enjoy.
I know. You were nice.
Well, thank you.
I wasn't mean.
You just called me pale because you said I don't have no rhythm. That's what you're saying.
It doesn't match the way you're wearing your hat. I'll tell you that.
My hat's backwards right now. Now it's forward.
Oh, man.
Let me ask you guys a genuine question really quick. What would you do without me?
Genuinely?
Genuinely.
Honestly, I don't know what we would do without you.
Benjamin would probably be sitting there right now.
And then you could change it from pulpit to the pew to just Sharonville.
Pulpit to the view.
Who knows? We might end up on the view one day.
I hope not.
No.
That'd be great.
I'd turn it down.
I'd set them women straight.
Sure you would.
Coming from somebody who puts a Christmas tree up in July.
What did I do to you? Why do you hate me?
No, I'm just saying.
No, I would. No, that's. You're right. I wouldn't go on the view.
You know, here's the thing, though. You're not the only one that's starting to hate him.
Ooh.
We're starting to get some reviews in.
Now
They're
you're doing what he
questioning-
did the last episode.
I decided I'm going to mix it up here on you.
To be honest, though, the same thing can be said about you.
How?
When I get to talk about what I want to talk about with the people I've talked to,
When I get to have my way.
they all talk about the same thing with you because you guys have both the lame take. Both of you have the wrong take. That's why. Both of you get called out. Go ahead and read your review. I got yelled at for 5 minutes because I went out of order, but here we go. I'm not the host of the show.
Well, here's what I figured.
I'm not the host, so you can go out of order whenever you want. You can do whatever you want because it's your show.
It is. I have the computer and I have the mixer thing. So
Yeah, go ahead and mute my mic. I know you want to.
I'm debating it.
Jerk.
No, I just figured.
You're getting a little testy.
So here's the thing, my friend. You want to yell at me about this? I'm trying to help you
Well, it's both
because you're saying he's hating on you, and I'm trying to share this information.
To be honest, I should be more on your side because you've been nice to me. It's Brother Ryan that's being mean.
I wasn't mean. I just made a statement.
You said I'm pale. You called me ugly.
Okay.
Am I wrong?
Yeah.
I didn't call you ugly.
You might as well have.
I didn't deny it when I said, am I wrong? But I didn't call you ugly.
True. By the way, the hat's backwards again.
Yeah, I see that.
Gets in the way. I don't want it to hit the mic. I don't want to make it harder for you to edit.
No, I was genuinely trying to help you with your haters and give you some support. And here
I can't be the good guy.
You know what? Then I will move this to the end of the episode.
Oh wow, that's good hosting right
For
there.
you.
Because that's suspenseful. You're leaving the people hanging in suspense. That's good. That's good hosting.
Plot twist.
No, game changer. We're going to go ahead and read it anyways.
Now I'm confused.
So
That's pretty common though. It's a big boat.
this comes from Sister Kathy, and we call her KK.
Yep.
So KK, she left the most simple email out there, and it's titled Chick-fil-A, and it says, "Starting to question your anointing."
Yeah.
How do you take that, Pastor, coming from a congregation member?
Well, I still love her. I pray for her. And so if you don't know where that's coming from, it's because I made the bold proclamation that Chick-fil-A is overrated.
Can I be honest though? I think you didn't even make the most blasphemous comment about that.
What
whole thing.
What was the most blasphemous comment?
Sean said the McCrispy is better.
Now, okay, so I will say
That is insane. That is insane.
actually, I eat more McCrispies than I do Chick-fil-A sandwiches.
Gosh.
Laid to rest.
Okay, so to add the feedback that I got from Brother Matt McGuire and Brother Brady and Brother Conley. All these guys were talking because they brought it up to me. There was a wedding that we were all at, and they said, I can't believe Ryan and Sean said Chick-fil-A is overrated or not good, basically. And I said, look, everybody yells at me for the Waffle House, but I think that is way more egregious to say Chick-fil-A is not good.
Okay, so first off, the words Chick-fil-A is not good
Overrated.
never came out of my mouth.
I don't remember the full. You're asking me to remember the full. I just know that they said that they didn't even know if you guys were called to preach because you said what you said about Chick-fil-A.
They are overrated. Chick-fil-A sauce is absolutely disgusting.
I love Chick-fil-A sauce.
Listen,
I can do
ministers
without
who are
Chick-
called to preach go to Popeyes.
Well, then I guess I ain't called because I don't. I mean,
Closed
I like
case.
I like Popeyes. I just like Chick-fil-A.
Back in the
more.
day, it was Lee's.
Lee's
But
is good.
I'm
Lee's is still around, but I'm not.
significantly older than you guys.
They're still. I like Lee's. I don't like. I go to Lee's now for their jalapeno dippers. They have these jalapeno dippers, which is a callback to last episode with the jalapeno Bigfoot. But if you go to Lee's,
Yeah, by the way, if you guys are still listening after last podcast, I truly do appreciate it.
that
Yeah,
was.
thanks.
Hey, I thought it was a good episode. I thought it was fun.
It was a blast.
It was a blast to record. It was a blast to record. I haven't laughed that hard on a podcast in a minute.
Again, I'll go back to the thing that Chick-fil-A has probably one of the best business models ever when it comes to fast food. I've never gotten my order wrong when we go, and they can be wrapped around the building 5 times and you're still in line. I'll give them their props.
They are the most efficient.
I ate it the other day.
Yeah, I did too.
And did I enjoy it? Yeah, I enjoyed it. But do I think that it is the best chicken sandwich on the planet?
Or do I even
No.
go as far as saying it's God's chicken?
I would never say that.
God's chicken. No, I don't fall in line with that.
I don't.
Because I'm going to tell you something. God's chicken is deep fried and it's still on the bone. That's all I'm saying.
Did they eat chickens in the Old Testament? Is that an unclean animal?
No, I have to look into that.
Because if that, I don't think if there was an unclean animal, which I mean now we're us being Gentiles and we were allowed to eat, but I'm just saying if they didn't eat chicken, I don't think anything could be God's chicken.
Why does it take this much deep thought to think about God's chicken to get there to say that Chick-fil-A is not and God's chicken is Popeyes?
Look, you can have your opinion. You know what? I respect your opinion. I just disagree with it. But the difference is that I won't roast you over and over again like you have with me with Waffle House, and I won't go as far to try and get which I gave you that picture willingly. Never mind. I'm not even going to continue with my thought because I gave you that picture willingly of me eating at Waffle House.
Yeah, I didn't hire somebody to go out there and get it.
You asked Buddy to send it to you, who I was with.
The other thing is we don't consistently roast you on Waffle House. People legitimately see you and they call you out.
I know. It's a,
Here's another
why
thing.
has anyone called you out for the Chick-fil-A thing yet?
No, I haven't been called out
that
one
is
time.
unbelievable.
That's because there's more people there with us.
The only person that would call me out on it that has said anything to me about it is my wife.
And to be fair, that might be the most important person to call you out at all.
Yeah, but according to last episode, you can go to Alabama and get that fixed.
We don't know if it was Alabama. I didn't.
Or Arkansas.
It's Arkansas. You better. They're coming. FBI. Arkansas.
Nice.
Oh my gosh! I just did it. Accidentally. I just did it.
We are now fugitives in Arkansas.
Arkansas FBI is now on their way to Ohio to arrest us.
Whoa. FBI is a federal thing. It's not.
It was a joke. Goodness gracious. I don't know. I like Chick-fil-A. Genuinely, I do. I think it's my favorite chicken sandwich. But I like all chicken sandwiches, to be fair. I like chicken sandwiches, period, from pretty much anywhere.
I just like chicken.
Same.
I can eat chicken all the time.
Are you more of a steak or a chicken guy?
Steak.
For me, it's a steak.
But I eat more chicken.
Yeah, because it's more affordable.
I don't know.
And easily available.
Yeah.
I would rather have fried chicken, to be honest with you.
Really?
If you
I
take me to
would.
a restaurant where they have chicken and steak, I'm getting steak.
Sometimes I go to Longhorn and get chicken tenders.
That's because you're a kid.
Yeah, that is literally that is childlike behavior.
And your wife gets chicken tenders everywhere she goes. It's
My wife
rubbing
gets-
off on you.
My wife gets chicken tenders wherever
I
she
love
goes.
chicken tenders. Oh, okay. We went to Cracker Barrel for the men's breakfast,
Yeah.
and you're only supposed to get like 6 chicken tenders. They gave me 11 chicken tenders. I ate as much as I could, and I gave the rest of them to Carlos.
You couldn't eat 11 chicken tenders?
Well, you don't just get chicken tenders.
No, I had chicken tenders. I probably had about 6 biscuits. I had some chicken and dumplings.
And this was your
And-
breakfast?
No.
It was men's lunch, or
Well, you said men's breakfast.
well, it was
also.
breakfast for me because I got up and went to Cracker Barrel that time.
No, I just was curious. No, that's fine. You can do. I like Cracker Barrel breakfast too.
I used to.
I haven't had it in a long time.
They took my thing off the menu.
What was it?
I would get the breakfast sampler. And now they make it to where you have to build your own. And it costs you more and more and more.
I haven't been that. See, always got the.
Grandpa's breakfast.
Yeah, I think something with sawmill gravy, some grits,
Some fried chicken or chicken fried steak one.
something like that.
Yeah.
No, I get country ham.
I like the country ham too.
Are you guys grits fans?
I love grits
No, absolutely not.
How do you make your grits?
with boiling water.
Do you doctor them up? Oh my goodness. I put butter and sugar in mine.
I can eat it both ways.
I like it sweet.
That's oatmeal.
Hey, I tell you what,
Once you put butter and sugar in it,
Still good.
at Waffle House, I don't put nothing in it. I just eat it straight up. It's so good.
You get grits from
Butter. Yeah. Butter always.
That sounds scary. I think getting anything from Waffle House that isn't their hash browns is a scary, concept.
If I want something sweet, and I got grits, I'll do the butter and sugar.
okay, I'm going to say something pretty controversial here
Oh boy.
about the Waffle House.
Okay.
I absolutely love it. But could they make their waffles a little bit thicker?
They are pretty thin, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Paper thin.
I had to get 2 to get back to the original ones that they had. That's my only complaint with them is that could they make them thicker?
I think I would like it if I know they do the chocolate chips. I've never had ever since the mosquito incident that I told you guys about, I've never had a waffle from Waffle House, but I bet I would like them if they were chocolate chip.
They have chocolate chip
I know
waffles.
they do. I haven't just never tried it.
He did say that, right?
Now who's not listening?
Well, the podcast that I was off, you guys said, if you pay attention to Brother Ryan when you're talking, he just kind of stares off in the distance. You don't think that he's really paying any attention to you.
And sometimes he's not.
Well, to be fair, I think there are times where none of us are really listening to each other.
No, not at all. I pay attention pretty much all the time. But when you're putting Waffle House down, I tune out.
Whatever.
Although you were pretty quick to say, yeah, their waffles are pretty thin.
They are. Waffles are pretty thin. I don't know. I got to staring at the new clock you provided, and the red lights that are blinking just kind of drew me in. Kind of like a fly to the fly light,
Yeah. You like that better than our calendar clock?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if it's 85:46 or if it's...
That is clearly 5:45.
Even in a military clock, 85. What? No, it's definitely 5:45.
I know it's 5:45
It's
in red,
not- where-
but all the whites are 8888.
Sean, you just need to take a clock out because it's just nothing you do works. Get a sundial in a
I
basement.
really don't know what to do to fix this situation.
Just kidding.
It does. Well, all the clear non-lights, it does look like an 8. It's just in
Yeah.
the shape of an 8.
Yeah. I know that. I'm looking right at it.
Can I say that in the picture where I ordered it, it looked a whole lot bigger? Thanks, AliExpress.
You have to pay attention to the dimensions when you buy something online. My sister is scared to death of clowns. And she's scared to death of clowns.
How are you
Hold on.
connecting this?
Because
Well,
if you
just
don't
wait.
if you don't pay attention to dimensions, you can be fooled. She went out of town and we were watching over her house, and my brother decided that one thing that he was going to do was he was going to buy a blow up clown and he was going to hide it in her shower. So when she came back home, she would open up her shower and she would see this clown, this man-like clown
In her
staring
shower.
at her. So he orders it from Amazon and he gets it, and it's less than 2 feet tall. I mean, it was tiny. The funny thing was, because he would not be defeated, he did put it in her shower.
Did she still get scared? I wonder, did she still get scared?
No.
What? What did I just miss?
There's like this, I don't know where it's coming from.
Oh, where
There's
it's
this
coming from.
random
There's
voice
this
going-
random noise
It's
going.
going.
I don't hear it. Maybe because I'm not paying attention.
I can see you not paying attention.
I live in my own little world over here.
That boat was really big.
Was a big boat. You know, the thing about it is, Brother Ryan told me that I said that, and he said he genuinely laughed when he heard it. And I thought about it because I don't remember saying it, but after I thought about it for a minute, I'm like, yeah, that was a me half listening response, but like you got 100% a genuine answer.
So
that's just a big boat.
So you say that's a big boat, and Brother Ryan says they have chocolate chips and waffles.
We love each other here, believe it or not.
So what's the order of the show now that you threw it all out of whack here?
Well, it's my turn, right? To do.
It
He
is.
wants it to be about him.
Word of the day.
Word of the day. And to be honest, I picked a topical word for what last week's episode, and to be honest, what this week's episode is turning into.
Man, he's double honest on this one.
Yeah. Disclaimer.
The word of the day is Jabberwocky. Jabberwocky.
That's a band that won on American Idol.
Actually, it was a dance crew, and it was the Jabberwockies, and they were on America's Best Dance Crew. You can't be a group on American Idol.
A Jabberwocky?
A Jabberwocky.
Is that the little bears on Star Wars?
That's an Ewok.
That's an Ewok.
No, a Jabberwocky, isn't it? It's a mythological creature, isn't it?
No.
I thought they were like kind of like what you said, these little bear thingies.
Nope. You have
No, I'm it's something off
Well,
of
Jabber
Star
means
Wars at this
talk, right?
point.
no. Well, it is talking. It is. So
Okay, so are you telling us the truth or are you lying to us here at this
I'll
point?
show you
Yeah,
the
because
word.
you know what I heard? I heard that it was a team that won a dance contest.
That's the Jabberwockies. This is Jabberwocky, okay? Jabberwocky is meaningless speech or writing. Meaningless speech or writing.
I Jabberwocky a lot.
That's what I said this episode. If you noticed, I said last week's episode and kind of this week's, it kind of fits. And so Brother Ryan did some funny facts about his, but here are mine. Did you know, in his poem titled Jabberwocky from Through the Looking Glass, Lewis Carroll warned readers about a frightful beast. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the Jub bird and shun the fruminous bandersnatch.
Okay, hold on, wait a second.
I know what you're about to say. No, it is not a creature. It's just the meaning of here. Look at the meaning of the word.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine,
but-
but that poem just gave what Sean said.
But it's the joke.
I am literally about to look this up myself for word of the day.
Go ahead. I got it pulled up right here. It said, and then it goes on to say the nonsensical. Wow, I can't read. The nonsensical poem caught the public's fancy upon its publication in late 1871, and by the turn of the 20th century, Jabberwocky was being used as a generic term for meaningless speech or writing. The word bandersnatch has also seen some use as a general noun with the meaning a wildly grotesque or bizarre individual. It is much rarer word than Jabberwocky, though, and it's entered only in the Merriam-Webster unabridged dictionary. So Jabberwocky is, I think, the entitlement of our podcast. It is meaningless speech or writing. That was your word of the day.
The context of the poem totally defeats the purpose of the definition.
Well, it was a poem. You can.
I think the reason why they were saying that is because the poem was completely pointless and nonsensical writing. So they said, we'll just use his own word against him and say that he's nothing but a Jabberwocky poet.
Probably would be my guess. Now, I don't know if Lewis Carroll's a problematic figure. I didn't look up that much detail, but
Well, they did throw out Bandersnatch.
I've never heard that word either.
You just read it.
Why, before that? Have you ever heard the word Bandersnatch before I said that?
No, but I also didn't say I've never heard that word. I just heard that word.
Oh, my goodness. I meant before I read it.
He never heard that word spoke by another person
Thank
except
you.
himself.
Thank you. Thank you. You understand my brain, Sean.
Unfortunately, I do.
I appreciate it.
Unfortunately.
All right. mighty host. We've done word of the day. What is the next?
What word did you just use? I've never heard that word before.
Bandersnatch.
I've never heard it. I thought I read something very similar to that.
Why are you so quick to rush our show here?
I'm not rushing anything. I'm just you got mad at me for going out of order. Well, I wouldn't say mad. Mad's a stretch, but
Man,
I'm
he
gonna go
is-
with the flow kind of guy, man.
He is dead set on putting you in your place.
We're taking applications again, everybody. There, that's how you fix that.
or you could just mute my mic.
Yeah, but you know what? The only people who would recognize that it's muted is me and Brother Ryan, because nobody else will be able to tell.
What do you mean?
Because they can't see you talk. We can see you talk and nothing come out.
Well, that's
We'll just
They
say,
would just think me and Ryan are just going to finish the episode.
we'll just say he left.
I would hear that though.
You would. Yes, you would.
But I
the
would
whole
know.
point-
But I wouldn't have left.
Right, but the whole point is we're dealing with the listeners. We're not dealing with you.
You have to deal with me.
We're not on YouTube yet, man.
He's saying that the listeners can't see you.
I know.
So if he muted you, the only people that would really know.
Well, you've already painted the picture that I'm pale. So.
What's that got to do with you?
We said pale, not translucent. It's the invisible man over there.
Especially with me in a white hoodie.
Oh,
I was literally about to say, with the table, you have not put your hands up once, and now here you are.
Well, we're not trying to video anything now,
I
so
know,
he's
but-
not doing the orchestra.
Touchdown, Jesus.
Well, you also warned me about tapping the table, so I'm trying my best not to tap the table.
Vibrate the table.
Tap
Whatever.
the table. I'm also trying to stay further away from the mic. I'm over here going through it. I'm trying to change who I am as a person. So to make your life easier, Brother Sean, because I don't want to have to make editing harder for you.
Don't change anything about you, buddy.
You
You
mean
wouldn't
that-
have
We
anything to
like
talk
you the
about.
way you is.
Do you mean that? Do you
Yeah.
mean it?
Yeah.
Some days.
I love you guys.
Except for you want to take us to that church and stone us.
Well, yeah, true. Yeah, you're right. That was rude. That was mean. I apologize.
That was rude? That's what you started with? It was rude? I'm thinking more like brutal.
It was.
I think, you know what I think? I think the word of the day probably should be a simple word.
A simple word?
Yeah.
You
Oh,
don't
no, I
simple.
liked mine.
So that we can understand how to use the rest of our vocabulary or the vernacular.
We could use Jabberwocky.
Yeah. Put that in a message.
I go to church with a bunch of Jabberwockies.
Put that in a message without offending anybody.
Backbiting is nothing but Jabberwocky.
When I hear Jabberwocky, the first thing that goes through my mind is do 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 do.
Okay, first off, as a Star Wars fan in my past life,
It's
two different planets. Two different planets.
It might be two different planets, but at the
But
same
you know,
time, when you
but-
think of Star Wars, it's one of the first songs you think of.
But to be fair, you can
No,
say
I think of nah. Okay,
I know exactly what you're talking about, but
that's the
When
opening
I-
crawl.
but he could be talking about the little beast that deconstruct and resell. Was it Jawas or
Oh,
that's what
the
I
dude in
was
the brown
thinking. I wasn't
hoods?
thinking
The brown
of the,
hoods.
I knew what
Yeah, those are
Ewoks were.
Jawas.
yeah,
I knew
Those
what
are Jawas.
were.
yeah. Well, you said little teddy bear.
Ewoks
things.
are little mini. I call Ewoks little
I
mini
said something
Wookiees.
on Star Wars.
Ewoks are mini Wookiees. That's the best way to describe an Ewok. They're mini Wookiees.
No, they're not.
They're baby
bears.
Wookiees.
No, they're bears. They don't even look like Wookiees.
Yeah.
They're furry. What's a Wookiee's furry?
So are monkeys.
There's no monkeys in Star Wars. I don't think.
Yeah, there technically is
Who or what?
that little possum monkey looking thing that sits by Jabba. Java.
Java? A coffee? You mean
Jabba. The,
Java?
yeah.
Instead of coffee, Java. Java. What is going on?
Maybe we do need a smaller word of the day to help us with our vocabulary.
Telling you.
We connect crazy dots. We're good at it. I will say that.
Do we have a news or story or something to go through here?
Did you save us?
Yeah, I give you an insight into my mind. I mean, that's literally like
I'm literally I'm literally sitting there watching the band do it. Is that what I hear it go? And it's not the one that you initially see. It's the one from Lego Star Wars.
I've never seen Lego Star Wars.
The Lego pieces.
That's after my time.
Yeah.
That was after my childhood.
That's crazy. You were a child when it was the originals too, right?
Well, yeah, I was a child when they were there.
When did the original ones come out? I don't even remember.
A long, long time ago.
In a galaxy far, far away.
Oh,
Boom.
my goodness gracious.
Boom. That was good. Come on, you got to give me credit for that. Come on.
I gave you a softball on that one.
That was. But you got if you don't hit the easy ones, you'll never hit the hard ones.
That's true.
So you got to get the confidence up. Save us from ourselves, Sean.
I'm planning on it.
Welcome to the WRNG News. I'm your host, Handley Mans. Breaking news this evening, Craxon Sun's glass foundry crumbles in the early hours of the afternoon. Truly a tragic event for all involved. In other news, they're reporting the same event. Moving on, the Daytona 500 has been delayed this season after the lead supplier for tires ordered 7,000 tires from China and received 7,000 paper printouts instead. Truly tragic. Turning now to the weather with Pat Meadon. Pat, what are we looking at for this evening? Well, thank you, Hanley. I do love a bit of rain, which is good because that's what we're getting tonight. Expect about 1 to 2 inches across the tri-state area by mid-morning. Highs in the 60s and sunny by mid-afternoon. It'll be a fine day indeed. Back to you, Handy. Thanks, Pat. In global news, ambassador to the European Farmers Contest, Frank's On It All, originally from Texas, maintaining that American scarecrows hold a particular position in all fields of criticism. Outstanding. Now, over to our station's very own Trim Ball for an update on the political front. Trim?
Thanks, Hanley. President Trump has made some bold moves in recent days, solidifying his agenda to further unwind the country from its entanglement with legislation that makes the common man suffer. It appears, though he has had great success, he and his team are only just picking up steam. Back to you, Hanley.
Our top story tonight. Jimmy Two Shoes McClarty facing prosecution tonight after he confessed to having been hired to beat a man to death in a rice field using only 2 small porcelain figurines. This has courthouse scholars naming it the first knick-knack paddywhack recorded in Rice County. That's everything for this evening. This has been Hanley Mans with WRNG News. Good night and good luck.
That's where the golden toilet went. He bought it to beat a man to death with it in the rice field. 2 porcelain figures. Wow.
I don't think that's what he meant.
What a connection.
I know one thing, that political guy's been through a whole lot for his voice to be as shaky as it is.
He's scared to death.
You know, the funniest thing about that is the weather has kind of been like what he said it was going to be. We had some rain. We've been in the low 60s, and then it turned to sun, and it's sunny. That's kind of crazy. It's almost like it was a real newscast.
The epitome of Ohio. The first day of spring
It was freezing.
is 40 with snow flurries. The last day of winter is 75 degrees and sunny.
What a weird world.
Ain't that wonderful?
Yeah. It's terrible. Weathermen are the only job that you can lie and get paid whether you're right or whether you're wrong because it's going to still weather.
Well, they can't control it. They can only predict it. God's in control of it all. There was one year, and I can't think of his name. He's still a meteorologist around here, but there was one year where it had snowed quite a bit and he was the only meteorologist that called it. And it was like one of those first snows of the year. And so he was calling like 6 inches, 8 inches, or whatever. None of the other outlets were calling anything. He was the only one that was calling for like all that snow. And it happened. We ended up getting the 6 to 8 inches and all that stuff. And so the broadcast that he was the meteorologist for, when they would introduce him, they kept calling him the weather god because he was the only one that got it right. And so they were like, it's time for the weather god. And they'd call the chief meteorologist and they'd say his name and all that stuff. Well, there was one week where he was calling for it to be sunny and no weather and all that stuff. And we got up the next morning and we got like a foot of snow. I mean, it was one of the years of a blizzard that we had. And we got a ton of snow. And it was kind of just like, that's God sitting here saying, okay, if that's the game you want to play, let me show you truly who God really is.
We all suffered because the one man's
Well, as I was a kid then, so it wasn't suffering because I didn't have to go to school.
go to school. Yeah. I think when I ever think of weather people, I think its name was Jamie Simpson. He was the WHIO guy in Dayton, which I don't know if you guys get Newssetter 7, probably not because you're in Cincinnati. But in WHIO, this guy, but he ended up having to quit because he was like a raging alcoholic and like came to work drunk and then got DUIs, went to a different news station, did the same thing again, was like crazy stuff. Crazy stuff.
Did you have a story you're going to tell about him?
No.
or-
To be honest, I don't know why I said that, but it's fine. You were just talking about weather people, and I just thought of him because I just thought it was funny.
So something we said about last episode is a new segment that we're going to do, and we're going to hit it every so often, is those off the wall laws. And you had a couple of them that you were reading to us earlier.
What state would you guys want to hear today?
You choose one. How about North Dakota, seeing how you think that it doesn't exist?
Said there was only one on that one.
No, South Dakota only had one.
Oh.
North Dakota's got,
So maybe it's South Dakota that doesn't exist.
Oh.
or they're more intelligent than everybody.
Game changer.
Okay, so North Dakota has 4. How many would you like me to read?
Let's go
Just
through them all.
Through them all.
Okay. In Fargo, one may be jailed for wearing a hat while dancing, or even wearing a hat to a function where dancing is taking place.
This is Footloose.
Okay, so hold on a second. Just for that being said, we are very lucky that we're not in North Dakota because you were kind of doing a little bit of a dance at the start, and you're wearing
And
a
I'm
hat.
wearing a hat. Wow, I am a fugitive in North Dakota. Good thing I don't believe it exists. In North Dakota, it is illegal to keep an elk in a sandbox in your backyard. Man, there goes my Saturday plans. In Waverly, you better not let your horse, sorry. It's in small text. I'm doing a lot of reading this episode, and that's not a good look. In Waverly, you better not let your horse near the tub, since horses are prohibited from sleeping in them, as well as in the house.
It's better than a house sleeping inside of a tub inside the house.
What? What did you just say?
You started this out saying house instead of horse, and now the horse can't sleep in the tub inside of a house, so that would be way better than a house sleeping inside of a tub inside the house.
Okay, fair. That was good. I'll give you credit. Okay, last law for North Dakota on my little...
He wasn't listening on that either.
I was. I just didn't connect the dots, okay? It is illegal to lie down and fall asleep with your shoes on.
Can you imagine what people were thinking when they decided to make laws like this?
Yeah, like I think that is my overarching theme with these laws is what in the world were people thinking? What transpired for like, we need to make that a law? Was it like for it is illegal to lie down and fall asleep with your shoes on? Did the guy like house catch on fire and you step on something and it causes something else to happen, so they made it a law? Like, why is that a law? Why did it happen?
How many horses do you have to have sleep inside your tub?
That's the one that I'm thinking of. Like, they have caution hot on a coffee cup from McDonald's because somebody
lady.
ordered it and she spilled the coffee, and she sued McDonald's because she said they never told me that the hot coffee that I ordered was hot. So now you have that. And I've not researched this to make sure that this has ever happened or if this was even true, but I was told that I think it's Holiday Rambler has it in their travel trailer, their driving campers manuals, that cruise control does not mean autopilot. You cannot go to sleep and it drive itself.
Oh my word.
Because somebody has
done
that. So
wow.
I'm just picturing as you're reading this law, how many people in that town had horses just randomly
sleeping in their
bathtub.
Well, this is like reading laws like this
I'd be
makes
like,
me realize why. When I read these,
That's why they made the law.
like it makes me realize that there are people. There's why there's directions on shampoo bottles. Like people like this exist. That there has to be laws made that prohibit a horse from sleeping in a bathtub.
Is there directions on shampoo bottles?
Yes.
Hold on one second. If we're going to be on this subject for a minute.
On shampoo
Why
bottles?
in the world, on the front of it, does it say that this is tearless shampoo? Because there's got to be some trial and error there, right? Like,
Okay.
You're like sitting there, take the bottle, you're like, bring the kid in. No, his eyes have got to be open.
How many kids do they test it on before they can call
They
it?
don't test it on kids. They do have testers. People get paid to. What do you do for L'Oreal? I stand there with my eyes open as they pour soap in my eyes just to see if I form tears or not.
That would be a miserable job.
Depends on how much it paid.
True. Depending on how much you paid,
I may never ever think to steal a golden toilet, but I might be tempted to sit and have somebody put some soap in my eye.
Well, they have to have taste testers for everything too that they produce food wise. That also includes, from what I have heard from people that work in the industry, they have to have people that test the dog food to make sure that it's good for them, or cat food.
I thought you were going to go with something delicious, and I was like, I'm in the wrong profession.
Yeah, you're in the wrong profession. I want to be.
Why couldn't you done it for like the Hershey?
I want to be a test taster.
I want to try donuts for Krispy Kreme for a living.
Hershey's factory is the only one that you don't have to be they don't have to have testers, because they take you through the thing and then they get you all hungry for chocolate, and then they drop you off at the store and you go crazy and buy like $5,000 worth of chocolate, and they just watch you in their little viewing room and like, okay, this is a hit. That is not. Nobody bought that.
I've never been. I'd like to go to the Hershey factory. That'd be cool. Never been.
You sit in a little cart and watch them make chocolate.
Okay, never mind. That doesn't sound that cool.
And then you get out. Well, you hear the story. I mean,
I
it's
don't
pretty
care
cool.
about the story. I
They
just
have an
want the
amusement
chocolate.
park there, too. I've never been. They have an amusement park there, too. And, like I said, you watch the process of chocolate making.
I'd go bankrupt. I love chocolate.
The one time that I went there was the year, one of the times. Yeah, the only time that I've been there was the year that the Take 5 came out.
Yeah.
So they were giving away a free like little mouth. It was basically like a pretzel covered in chocolate with a nut or whatever else is in, because there's 5 things that makes up the Take 5.
Hence the name Take 5.
Exactly. So they were giving that away
really
as
good
free
at pointing out
samples.
obvious.
It kills me every single time. I'm like, really? Just want to go, well, duh, Captain Obvious.
Do they show you how to make Reese's there?
They don't show you how to make any of their stuff. They show you how chocolate
Okay, then I
was
don't care.
formed
I like Hershey bars, but I
from the
like Reese's more.
cacao bean.
I like Reese's more.
Or is it cacao? Is it cacao?
Cacao.
Cacao?
I always called it was a cocoa bean.
I mean, maybe.
It's from cacao. That's how it's pronounced. Cocoa is what you sip.
I like hot cocoa. What about you? Do you like hot cocoa, Brother Ryan?
Yeah.
Hot chocolate. I like hot chocolate.
I don't know what that is from. I don't know what you're referencing.
That just might be him, man.
It's not. It's from the Santa Claus to number 2.
Never. I don't know.
So, any big plans now that it's springtime?
No, because I was planning on going to Georgia, but that kind of got changed with my housing project. It ended up getting bigger and bigger, and dipped into the vacation budget. So probably won't. Who knows? I still may end up going, but I'd like to go to Georgia. I wanted to go to Youth Fire, but the timing didn't work out to where I could go. No, I don't have any big spring plans. It'll probably just be another relaxing. Getting my yard ready is another thing.
I didn't think you liked yard work.
I told you I don't like doing it. I like making my yard look nice. I just don't enjoy the process, but I will do it.
I wish you guys could see his face when we push his buttons. It's just hilarious.
I believe in Bigfoot. I don't believe in yard work. I don't know if I believe in Bigfoot. I love yard work. I wish Bigfoot was real. I wish some guy had cut my grass. That's what I'm hearing right now.
You guys make it seem like I'm conflicting everything, which maybe I am.
No. Listen, it's not. You go back and listen to the episodes and tell me how you hear.
I'm really not trying to re-reference everything again, but it's just hilarious.
It's so funny.
It's like a dog chasing its tail. I got it. I don't have it. I got it. I don't have it. I got it. I don't have it.
I think that is a perfect embodiment of my personality.
Because if you were to ever obtain any of those things, you'd have no clue what to do with it.
Just the pursuit is all I need. Is just the pursuit. I don't know. I am really different. I guess I'm a weird guy, but I just like stating the obvious because I know there's people that don't always understand the obvious. So I like to include everybody. And then the thing is when you say something that makes sense to me, you can change my opinion. There's a few hills.
Wait. But hold on. Here's the thing. We can get you to change. And then the next time we see you, you doubt every single thing that we've told you.
I'm a skeptical person.
I know.
That's why I wear a tinfoil hat wherever I go.
Oh.
I look, it's just, because I can see, I enjoy listening to people's perspective. And sometimes if a perspective's good enough, it may change my opinion until I think about it more, then I'll just go back to my original opinion.
You know what he's saying? Yeah, I'll try this out for a couple days, see if I like it. If not, I can always return it.
Don't tear the price tag off of that. I don't know if I want to eat it or not.
Pretty much. Because, there's a few hills I'll die on. Obviously, my faith, I'll die on that hill because nothing will persuade me from that.
As long as it's not Luke chapter 15.
That's where Jesus was born.
You're right. He was. He was.
So what other hills are you dying on, man?
Waffle House is not that great.
We've already hit that one.
Okay, well, let me think. What other hills would I die on? There's not a few, I guess there's not that many hills.
Just 2 hills. I've got 2 hills in my life.
The one that he might or might not die on is if Bigfoot's real or not.
No, there's already a track record. You can't. I'm not picking a hill. I'm somewhere in the valley of the 2 hills. I'm between the 2, and depending on which way the wind blows.
Oh,
you give if Bigfoot's real and he provides that jalapeno beef jerky we had last week, then he's real all the time.
Yeah,
because that was some good beef jerky. Not a sponsor, by the way.
So, disclaimer. I just want to let y'all know that was a disclaimer.
Hey guys, would you consider our podcast a Jabberwocky?
I really do think we're verging on that point. We're literally lying on the verge of being nonsensical.
Oh.
You are literally not talking, Ryan. I haven't heard you much.
I was getting ready to ask. I was getting ready to transition. Be like, "Sir, Brother Ryan, what are you doing for spring?"
I carried the last episode, guys. I had to save us from the episode before.
Oh, you're going to take credit for all that?
That's an interesting episode. Take credit for
He's
it.
not even like, I may have helped out. He's like, dude, that was my episode. I don't care what the rest of you guys say.
Well, I talked the most.
I don't know.
I think we all talked pretty much.
So for spring,
So let's bring it back.
no, I am going to Washington, D.C.
Really?
Yeah.
You gonna go see the president?
No, I don't
What-
think so.
What are you gonna do in DC?
They're doing a trip for my kid's school, so Benjamin gets to go.
That's cool.
Yep. So I'm going to be his parent that goes with him. So we'll see the monuments and we'll see the cemetery and the changing of the guard and all that stuff. Whatever. If I know that there's like schedules for the changing of the guard and everything. So if we're there at that time, then we'll get to see that stuff. We'll see the Capitol building, and I think we're going to see the White House. I don't know if we'll get to do a tour. I know all that stuff has changed. Smithsonian, the Bible Museum, all that kind of stuff. And then on our way back, we're going to go up into Pennsylvania and do a 2-hour tour in Gettysburg.
Have you ever been to DC before?
Yeah. Yeah, I have personally. I've done all that stuff. The only thing, because I went after 9/11, so I went after they shut all the White House tours and all that stuff down. So I wasn't able to do the White House. We couldn't do the White House. We couldn't get close to the Capitol building and all of that. But I've seen all the monuments and all that stuff. We did bus tours. So we did that for 2 days. And then we stayed in Gettysburg for the week.
Sounds fun.
It was a blast. We did don't fall out with me, but we did a ghost tour in Gettysburg. And so that ghost tour, I mean, we didn't go there to talk to ghosts, quote unquote. That wasn't anything of what we did.
I'm just kidding.
We went there
Sean would have had a Ouija board.
and
A Ouija board?
but we went there and they basically gave a ton of history on the town. So you're walking through the town at night, kind of in the darker hours, because if you're talking about ghost tours, you're going to go. Now, I have family members that went to Gettysburg and they did a battlefield ghost tour, and they were told that the only way that you see them is if you take pictures of the fields. So as a kid, this is going back in the day before you had all the phone digitals and all that stuff. They had disposable cameras that they would use, and then you had to go get the film made up. So as a kid, I'm looking through all their pictures, and there's like 30 or 40 pictures, if not more. It's just pitch black. There's absolutely nothing in the picture, and it's black and black and black and black. And I'm like, what in the world is this? Why did you guys, was it going off in your pocket or what was going on? And they started laughing. They said, no, we were hunting for ghosts.
The funny thing is, before that tour, they have a bunch of disposable cameras you can buy.
Oh, they probably do.
For sure,
Yeah,
100%.
Kodak was making a killing in them days on the ghost tours of the battlefield. But it was neat, man. That it was really cool. You get to see all the different monuments out throughout. I always tell people if you can do a Gettysburg trip and not be relegated to just a quick tour, like you can take days and go through and see all the Civil War history, because that was one of the major battles of the Civil War. And so if you can go through and you can see all of that, man, it's outstanding what you see.
I've wanted to do like a tour of the East Coast with all the 13 colonies and stuff like that, because I've heard there's some, like, not just Gettysburg, but like in Charleston and different places like that. Some of the Civil War stuff would be really cool to go through.
And with the town at Gettysburg, you could still see the musket holes. And you could still see parts of the buildings where, like, explosions, shrapnel, and all that stuff would go. You can see all that stuff. It's really cool. And we didn't get to do it, but in, like, some of the big churches and stuff that were there at the time of the Civil War, they used those as hospitals. And back in those days, they didn't have a way to do medical stuff to save limbs and stuff. So 90% of the people, if they couldn't take the ball out, they're losing arms and legs. And they say that you can go in the basement of those churches and you can still see where blood from the Civil War is stained.
Wow, that's crazy.
Because it was old wood floors that seeped down in there.
That's sad and crazy at the same time.
Mm-hmm. But it's really cool.
I might need to do that. Might be on my bucket list.
It's a great thing to do. Like I said, I mean, you can buy. Of course, back in these days, it was still cassette. You could buy stuff that you could play through your radio, and it gives you a tour, and it kind of tells you if you're on track with what's on the soundtrack or whatever. It'll give you all the stuff that you're seeing
about each
so
site.
you're kind of going through this tour. But if you can take a couple days, and just travel the area, it's really, really cool.
Fun fact about Gettysburg: it's where Abraham Lincoln gave the Gettysburg Address.
I hate you.
Oh man.
I had to lighten the mood after blood seeping through wood floors. What about you, Sean? What do you got going on for the spring?
I'm not going to Gettysburg. I'll tell you that. I think now that we're back from PFYC, I think we're gonna get some chicks.
Get your chickens.
You'll get my chickens.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You got your house back there. Your hen house.
Your house. Sean built your house back here, huh?
Yeah, it's because my other house is sleeping in the tub.
Listen got tired of you.
Your other house got arrested for sleeping in the tub.
I don't know if they're saving this podcast anymore at this point, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna go get some chicks, I think, and get them ready now that much of the cold's gone. And I didn't want to get them before we left for PFYC because you gotta really watch them, or you'll lose a couple. Well, you'll lose a couple anyways. But so,
are you excited to get eggs from chickens?
Yeah, my dog is. My dog loves fried eggs. When I make an egg sandwich or something in the morning, Aspen will come up and she'll sit right at the stove and be like, "Go get me one."
Does she actually say that?
Well, sometimes.
She speaks? That's crazy.
Yeah. She'll like whisper in my ear.
Did she drink vegetable soup?
Most of the time it sounds like this. It goes.
There's people that hate you right now for breathing into the mic.
All right, everybody, come back next week.
Dog lovers will love me for that.
I wonder what people's perception of the last couple episodes have been. Because they're wild. We have Bigfoot. Well, we have 2 episodes kind of covering Bigfoot.
Oh.
Well, it's the point of the show is it's just entertainment. We're not
too serious.
We're not specifically spiritually uplift and this and that, but you got to have fun outside of just getting into talking about church all the time. Which I love church. I believe in church, and that's the number one thing to do in my life. But we got to have more than just that. We got to be able to fellowship and have a good time. That's what these conversations are all about.
I've been having a ton of fun with the recordings here recently.
I love it, man. It's so much fun.
Yeah, for sure. I like getting together, even if we have to give some Bible lessons on how big the ark is.
It's a big boat.
It is a big boat.
It's a big boat.
It's a big ark. Call it bark.
Where's the button? Hit the button. Hit the button. Not that one.
Oh, too late. We're ready to end this podcast, everybody. Like we said, we went off into the deep end, and here we are trying to reach the top again. So if you've enjoyed this content, please leave us a like, comment, give us an email at pulpitandpew@gmail.com, and we'll be here with you next week.
See you, everybody.
See you, everybody.